this is the last part of the episode, we want to talk about practical skills, practical things to develop critical thinking, to actually use it. And also, I wanted to say that we all in a hurry always, and this also affect how we making decision, how we actually use information, and prefer use it from ChatGPT rather than thinking by ourselves. So some of the authors, Zara said that I read books because they made me think. Books is one of the ways to develop those thinking. Another way is just listen your emotions. Your emotions always telling you what's wrong or what's going on. And we usually just escape from hard emotions. We trying not to look at them, but by not looking at them, we make them bigger until we notice them. Yes. Especially in situations of crisis, like when we're so devastated, we're so terrified of something, we just in the situation, and then we can't thinking normally. Then we just listen ourselves and are just trying to understand why I experience those emotions, and do it with care, because all of your emotions, they help you to survive and to live happy.
Yeah, and I think in those cases of crisis, when you don't know what to do, when you don't have the critical thinking trained, well trained, most of the times you make the wrong decisions. That is why it's very important to train the critical thinking, so that when we get to those crises, which we all have in life, we will know what's wrong and what's right. But if we are used to internet solving all our problems, and we get into these situations in which we don't know what's wrong and right, probably we will make the wrong decisions. And if we train the critical thinking for a long period of time, then when these crises just explode and happen, then it's easier to make the right decision, even under a big like a lot of pressure, tons of pressure. So it's a matter of training. It's like the memory. It's like a muscle. The critical thinking is like the our muscle of the soul or whatever. So it just takes time, and we just need to train on this critical thinking, and then everything will be fine.
What do you think, Maria? Which methods can we use to actually train it effectively, train our thinking?
I think that also talking to people that they have good moral values is very important, because values are now lost. We have lost the values, the moral values, and a good critical thinking, it's basically based on the good moral values, because it permits you to see what's wrong and what's right and your conscience. So if we talk to these people, if we read books, classics, like the classics where they teach you the values and they see the good as good and the evil as evil, then it's it's going to be very difficult when you have a critical thinking well developed. It's going to be very difficult to be influenced or be manipulated by external sources. Of course,
Yes,
it
right.
can happen, but okay. And so basically, the critical thinking is to first you need to know what is good and what is right, and that we already have it in our conscience. So we must train that. We must train to see the good as good and the evil as evil. That's basic. And also, if we have the chance to, I don't know, to talk to people, that they are wise and you already know, and they have had experiences. Like, for example, don't go so far away, like our grandmas. They have interesting stories. So that helps. The language helps as well to analyze. And there are many things. Also writing, because writing clears your mind. And it's not the same as you are thinking about, oh yeah, probably this is right, this is wrong. And when you put it on paper, on physical ground, so to say, and a physical sphere, then everything gets clearer and you can see from another perspective. You are not inside your mind. Now you are looking from outside. So writing in paper, it helps a lot. Reading the books, like physical books, also helps. If you don't have the chance to read in physical, well then just it doesn't matter in electronical. But the main thing of this is developing these moral values that we have, and do not be afraid of looking at the world as it is, and the good things as good things and bad things as bad things. As because I am repeating this too much, because nowadays we are so used to, like, the evil is not so evil. It was good at the beginning and then it turned out to be like, no way, like evil is evil, that's it. So external sources are trying to manipulate us, and we just need to be able to see the things as they are and analyze them, and not be afraid of analyzing and thinking. That's it.
You said so many good things. I mean that actually the power of community around us,
Yes.
it helps us to stop being self-conscious, especially in difficult situations, and look at surroundings, look from different angles, and even ask an opinion if you need it, and actually be more aware of yourself, because critical thinking is also about presence in the moment. Yes, it's connected.
And also to be able to be mature enough, if we ask for an opinion of someone that we are pretty sure that they will give us the right answer, it's also the critical thinking is also this responsibility that we have to accept that maybe we are wrong. And that won't be
Yeah.
very pleasant, because it's not pleasant, like, to be wrong many times. So it's also this kind of open mind, to have an open mind to, and to be humble enough as to accept that we might be wrong, and to be humble enough to ask for some support, for some other opinions. And probably many times we won't like the answer, but I mean, that's it. If we should be able to do this more often, not just like, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. No, it's like, okay, you can be wrong sometimes, and it's okay.
Yes. And actually, this is a power to acknowledge that you're wrong, because this makes you clear, and it makes you be realistic. So being realistic is better than being in the dark, because those situations there tend to repeat if you haven't learned lesson from them. So just learn this lesson, acknowledge that you're wrong, and go further.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Even Oprah Winfrey said that she's doing something with intention, and every her action have the meaning. So it's very important thing too.
Definitely, I agree. It's better to have a purpose. And in order to have a purpose, or to find your purpose, you need to develop the critical thinking. Otherwise, you will just be without any north in the life you have.
Yes. So thank you guys for watching us today, and we'll see you in another episode.
Here we do. So have a nice day or night, wherever you are.
Yes. Bye bye.